Another episode of Lead Through Sport, the podcast, aka Spotlight Thursdays. I'm your host, T. Scotty, and today I have Coach J, aka Jeanne-Marie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, Lead Through Sport is a platform that spotlights former and current athletes, entrepreneurs, and creatives on their journey to success, providing people with knowledge nuggets for life. And you are somebody who embodies all three. You are a former athlete, entrepreneur, and a creative. So, I just want you to bring you in and just, share your knowledge with the people. That's cool?
Yep, absolutely.
So give me some icebreakers. Tell me your name, age, playing background, school background, and a fun fact.
Oh, Lord, age. I hope my player's not looking at this.
You don't got to if you don't want to.
I know I do, right? My name is Jeanne-Marie Wilson, but a lot of people call me Jeannie, and that's where I got Coach J from. I didn't want to be called Coach Wilson because it sounded like I was like way older than what I was. Age, I'm 28. Just turned 28 in October. Where I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. And a fun fact about me is I used to have my barbering license, so I know how to cut hair.
Former barber?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried to do something to yourself or?
No, I did not. No, could not. Nope. Even when I had a short haircut, nope.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So let's get into what you do now. So you are currently the assistant coach / recruiting coordinator at Howard University. So tell me about your day-to-day duties.
It just, depends depending on, what type of day we're having, if it's game day. But a normal day for me would just be, waking up. I got to go to Starbucks. I got to get some coffee because it's long days. So I get my coffee, get in the office. We normally start out with having, film sessions or individuals with our players throughout the day. Them little breaks that I do have, if it is my scout, I'm, knocking scout out, or I'm just updating, our recruiter database and things like that. And then, we meet on the daily as far as recruiting to kind of figure out where we're going to be in the next 3 years or so. Then after that, we just have practice. After practice, if somebody else wants another individual, we get it in. And then after that, it comes more recruiting stuff, talking to the recruits on the phone. I'm texting them throughout the day, and then I'm doing homework or something. So it's pretty long days.
That's real. So are your days mainly the same, or how does that work?
No, so my days are not the same. It's just like I said, it just kind of depends. Like tomorrow is a game day for us. We play University of Memphis. So what I'll probably do is just go in. We have shoot around. I'm sorry, I lied. We have film, then we have shoot around. After that, I'm getting individuals in with some players that want to, me or, other assistant coaches as well. And then we just, talking to the players, making sure they game ready, making sure they head right and things like that, doing the background scene of things. And, after that, it's just game time. So we get on the floor for pre-stretch and pre-practice.
I feel that. So you're Division I coach, and a lot of aspiring coaches, high school, college, they want to get to the D1 level, but they don't understand how hard it is in the everyday grind. So tell me, what's the hardest part about coaching to you in your eyes?
Lord.
If there is one.
The hardest part of coaching is trying to shift a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old mindset to something different. And, when you at that age, it's only one way. It's like, man, I'm not listening to them. I think I know it all. And I can say that because I was a player too. Like when I was a player, I thought I knew it all. But just, constantly, being there, being that person in their ear just so they can just trying to get it. It's the hardest part because it's like, I know you can get it. And when you get it, you're going to be unstoppable. It's just that I got to wait for you to kind of process it and get it. So definitely trying to get to it.
And we've all been there being former athletes. At some point in time, we didn't have it all together. But can you talk about the importance of sticking with a student athlete or just a regular student in general? Because I feel like a lot of us, like, we give up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you or me, but like a lot of people in the industry, they just give up on a kid. Talk about the importance of
that. So the importance of definitely, are you saying as far as coaching or just being a student athlete in general?
Just being a student athlete in general.
Okay, gotcha. So, it's very important because what, student athletes don't realize is that when you are playing and you are a student athlete, it translates over to real life situations. Like, of course, they're seeing us as we're just basketball coaches, but in reality, we're basketball coaches, we're mentors, we're psychiatrists, like we're everything that's, we're trying to get you to do and be better at when it comes down to life. It's bigger than basketball. A lot of people say it, but like, you have to find a coach that really, really means it. And, the staff that I'm with, like, that's how we feel. So to our student athletes, it's just, don't give up. We see you trying. We see you, trying to do right and things like that. So we're going to be with you through this process. We know you're not, the mature person that we want you to be at the moment. But at the end of the day, once we figure all that stuff out and you become that person that, we know you can be, it's amazing to see.
Absolutely. I love, that's one thing when I was coaching, even now working with student athletes, seeing the growth is like the most rewarding thing ever. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I stopped coaching and started doing more of this, because I wanted to be able to touch more student athletes at once. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it took you it was a little journey getting here. So you started off at Northwest Kansas Tech.
Yeah.
You did that for a year, and then you moved on to Texas A&M at Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Spent 3 years there. Talk to us about that JUCO journey first, because I coached at a JUCO, and them JUCOs out west, different ballgame.
Hey,
listen about that journey.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, first things first, get into coaching itself is very, very hard. Getting in, it's really about who you know. And the only way you really know people is if you go out and you network. When I first got into it, I went to a lot of seminars and things like that, just to kind of, meet coaches, get their cards, kind of network and get my foot in the door. And once I got my foot in the door with the JUCO, I was like, all right, my foot is in the door. I'm now coaching. What can I do to set myself apart? So being at JUCO, as you know, is kind of different. You gotta pretty much do everything. You got to do everything because of the lack of resources. So I was a professor. I was a sport information director, as well as being an assistant coach. So I had to juggle all three of those at once. And it worked out in the long run, because, it goes back to that, learning about stuff to teach you for life skills, that principle I was talking about, because now I'm able to kind of juggle things a little bit easier, being as though I only have to focus on two things, which is, being a coach and recruiting. So, being at JUCO, it's a grind. I'm out there. I have no family. I'm in Kansas. I'm from, the DMV area.
Before you continue, I'm sorry. You want to know how I know you love the sport of basketball?
How?
Because you went to Kansas and Texas.
Listen,
you're in early 20s.
I know.
Like,
right?
I love basketball, but like, you love basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, when I tell you how many stoplights was in that city, you probably would have been like, yeah, Jay, you really loved it. Because I literally was an hour away from Denver, Colorado. So whenever I wanted to do anything, I had to literally drive. No, I lied. I'm sorry. I was 2 hours away. I had to drive 2 hours away to even go to the movies or get something good to eat. So yeah, it's a grind. It's definitely a grind, but it just like it taught me a whole lot about myself. Honestly, it made me, reflect on what I wanted to do in life, and me staying there, it made me realize that I impact players. So that's the reason why I did.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk to me about how you balance being a professor, being an SID, and coaching? Because that's like, those are all full-time jobs in one. People don't really understand that basketball coaches, when you're first starting out, you basically have two jobs at a lot of spots, especially
and not get paid a lot. Yep.
And in my instance, I stayed on campus too, so that's not, it's not fun in the beginning. So talk to us about how you balance that in the beginning.
Yeah. Speaking of, being on campus, I was literally in they made a hotel into a dorm. I lied. A motel into a dorm. So I had no kitchen, no nothing.
Yo, hold up.
Yes. A lot of people don't know. Like when I tell people all the time, it's a grind. And like you said, if you don't love it, then those situations just going to have people be like, nah, I don't want to do it. But I was determined. I'm like, if I got to start here to be where I want to be, then that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. So that kind of goes back into the question, how you asked, how did I balance it? At first it was very overwhelming. It was like, oh my God, I got to do all this. But if this is what I have to do in order to be where I am now. Hello, Bison. That's what I'm gonna do. It's a grind. So I don't
and
know.
you back home though. This journey got you back home, so that's kind of cool.
That was the goal too. So it's crazy.
So you're at Northwest, and then you move on to Texas Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that transition and how Texas treated you.
Yes. So first things first, I love Texas. I love Texas A&M University Commerce. They will always have a special place in my heart. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of time in coaching, like I said, it's not about, what you know, it's about who you know. My boss that was there at the time, Jason Burton, he didn't know me from nothing. He just like nothing. And I met him at one time, I was recruiting and I actually met him. And, we kept in contact. We was networking and things like that. So when a job came open, I reached out to him and he gave me a shot. He let me interview. And so for him to kind of take a chance on me and not, know who I was personally and things like that, because we never, met face to face besides the recruiting aspect of things. Like I will always, be like, man, you good in my books. But as far as commerce, is a powerhouse D2. It, taught me a whole lot when it came down to just not the coaching side, but the political aspect of things. And especially in recruiting, the recruiting coordinator there, Markeith Brown, he kind of shaped me into the recruiter I am now. He was the one that was sitting me down, teaching me about, with defining players, how to talk to players, how to build relationships. And then Jason was more so of the scout. So they had a lot of pieces to put together to help me be who I am today.
That's good. Beautiful. So tell me, who put the passion in you? Like, where did you get this inspiration from to start coaching in the first place?
So it's kind of crazy because I always tell a story and people be looking at me like I'm crazy. I did not like my college coach. and she knows that. So she looking at this right now, she probably would be crying laughing. I'm serious. Listen, one thing about me, I'm so transparent. But let me go back. I didn't like her as a coach, but I loved her as a person. And during that time, as a player, you really don't realize that, she's pushing me like this, or she's doing these things because she wants the best for me. I was very stubborn. So I'm just like, oh my God, this lady keep yelling at me. And I was lazy too. I was naturally talented, but I was lazy. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, she keep yelling at me. So I didn't like the simple fact that she was always hard on me because I just felt like it was just me. But I always said that I was going to be the college coach that she never was to me. And in that aspect of being very hard on them, but also having a relationship with them while they're there. I didn't get a relationship with my college coach till after college where I could tell her how I felt about her. So that's why I kind of wanted to coach, because I'm like, you know what? My coach never had a relationship or a great relationship with me. She was just my coach. So I want to kind of do that and stick, with basketball since I have a passion for it.
Got you. And what did you learn from her that, helps you today?
Definitely beating the odds of things. She liked to play mind games a little bit. And, she used to be like, I don't know if it was like a tactic to just make me mad so I can go off in games, but like she's like, you're not gonna do this, like you're not gonna make this today because you too lazy and you doing this and you doing that. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. And I go off in games. So definitely, just being the odds of things. It goes back to balancing things and so forth. Like I'm getting my PhD right now. Nobody in my family has it. So I'm like, you know what? It's an odd. I'm about to beat it. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it before I'm 29. So that's the mindset I kind of have from that.
I respect that. I like that. So let's move on. I'm going to enter in a segment called the Salute Session, right? And I'm going to highlight a lot of things that you have done or going to do upcoming. So you were ladies and gentlemen, Coach J was a McDonald's All-American Nominee in high school. She was first team All-Met, and I heard about that Met conference. I heard it's a real grind out there. So that says a lot about you.
This research you was doing is very good.
She was CIAA rookie, first team All-Rookie, and you were also a part of the WBCA 30 under 30 honoree. There's a lot here, so y'all just hold tight. So she also graduated from 2 HBCUs, not just a regular college, 2 HBCUs St. Augustine's and NCCU. We got to clap that up. We got to clap that up one time.
HBCU.
That's hot. That's hot.
Thank you.
You are currently getting your doctorate degree, and you own your own brand called Jmuhree Officals.
Yes.
How do you feel? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about all of that?
Man, I don't know. It's just normal to me. Not saying like that is. I'm so humble.
Say it like that. Say it like that. This is what you do.
No, it's not. I promise, 'cause I'm so humbled. It's just when people talk about it, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm excited, but it's just.
I feel it. I know it feels good though. I know
it does. When I let me go back. When I actually, launched the Jeanne-Marie official stuff, I was super excited. I was super excited. I'm still excited now, but it was just like, that goal that I always wanted to, achieve. I did it. So it was exciting. Like when I graduate in April with my doctor, it's like, I feel like I'm gonna be excited. I'm not excited right now because I'm low key over it because it's so much and I know I have to get through it, but I'm pretty sure when April comes, I'm probably going to be more excited because it's getting close.
So I want to touch on some of these. So we're going to get to those in depth. So let's touch on high school. Let's talk about high school for a little bit. What was the Met like? Like, how was that for you growing up? Was it easy because you All-American nominee? I don't know if you was running through the talent or how did that work?
So it's a lot of talent in the DMV area. A lot of talent. I don't know if you know, but they actually, have you seen the documentary Something in the Water?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's a documentary of like the DMV on the guy side. It got like KD in it, Quinn Cook, all of them. But they made a female version of it, and it's called "Can't Retire from This," and it's actually gonna come out. So it's just talking about all of DMV basketball and how good it was. But just to piggyback on that, it was tough because I was not only competing against public schools, I was competing against private schools as well, and in the area, is the talent wasn't just at one spot. It was so spread it out. So every single game was really like a competition. It was never a blowout. So it definitely was hard. When I was surprised that I got some of those, accolades and stuff like that, because I didn't go to, a private school. I didn't go to a St. John's or Elizabeth Seton, and those are like really good private schools. I went to a public school in Prince George's County, Maryland, that they consider is in the hood. So when I went and I got it, I was just like, dang, like, okay, people like us could get accolades. I'm scared of us. So it was good to get those.
That's what's up. So you were working at Shaw, correct? Wow, going to school at North Carolina Central.
Yes. That's
wild. So were you on campus at NCCU?
No, so being as though I graduated from St. Aug, I stayed in the Raleigh area. So I was in Raleigh, but I was just driving to school because it was night classes, and we took, I think it was like 3 classes a week. So I just normally drove to school at night. But yeah, I was at Shaw. I was actually working under a former teammate of mine. She was the SID at Shaw during the time. And, I told her I wanted to get in sports and things. And she was like, well, if you want to get in sports, here's your chance. You need to get your foot in the door with this, and that. And she taught me those things, which led to me being able to get the job at Northwest Kansas Tech because they were looking for SID at the time.
That's hot. So talk to me, ever since you've been in college up until you went to Northwest, you've been involved at HBCUs. Just tell me, what does the HBCU mean to you? Because it seemed like you always lingering around that, around in school. Like, what does it mean to you?
Man, it's everything to me. It's just something that I've always said that I wanted to be a part of. Coming out of high school, I had offers from PWIs and everything. But when I took my visit to St. Aug, it felt like home. So once I had that feeling, I'm like, man, if all HBCUs like this is what I want to be at. This is my crowd. So it always held a special place in my heart. And even with coaching, before I even started coaching, I always said that I want to coach at a HBCU. Coming out of commerce and things, I did have some other opportunities that were presented to me. But, when I talked to my boss now, Ty Grace, and, she's at Howard, I'm like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Like, this ain't nothing but the Lord. Because I've been saying I wanted to get back into my HBCU world. And then, of course, it's closer to home. So it was a no-brainer.
That's real. That's real. And also, you are getting ready to be a doctor. I know you aren't yet, but we're going to put that in the air. We're going to speak that into fruition.
Okay.
And our name is No Ceilings because it seems like you have no ceiling on your potential at all whatsoever. You do everything.
I appreciate
what is it like? I couldn't imagine you're coaching on the Division I level and studying. And we talked about it earlier, maybe because your coach understands what's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some people work for coaches that's all basketball. So your situation might be a little better. But tell me what that grind is like, because I know that's oof.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm kind of in a situation right now where I'm over it because it's just a whole lot of writing, but it's not bad because I'm actually focusing on something that really intrigues me. So my research is basically the underrepresentation of African American women head coaches at the Division I level. So it's something that I want to know. So when I do become a head coach at a school, I know what barriers I, may experience and how to kind of maneuver around them. But as far as like the time aspect and things, like we was talking earlier, my head coach, Ty, she's very good at, understanding and knowing that, I know you're here for coaching, but I want you to better yourself as well. Whereas, with school, whereas personal development, whereas coaching clinics and things like that. So she's all for it. When I was talking to her and letting her know that I was getting my PhD at first, she was like, well, how you going to do all that? Because you're going to be the recruiting coordinator, you get your PhD, you got your own little line going on. And I'm like, listen, I got it.
I ain't gonna lie, Coach. I was thinking the same thing. Yo, how is this possible? Like, how is this possible?
It's that JUCO. That's why it's possible.
Yeah. And that's one thing that rise to the occasion, lead through sport. We highlight that one thing, everything connects. So what you went through in the past is helping you out today. So that's why, you treat it like it's nothing. Continue to do that though. Word.
I appreciate you.
And I was listening to one of your interviews earlier on SLT, Sports Life Talk.
Yep.
And you mentioned you want to be an AD. Yes. That's your ultimate goal, right?
Yes. So my ultimate goal is to be an AD. Of course, I want to stay in coaching for however long it allows me to be. And the crazy thing about it is that, I said I wanted to coach for like 2 years and then I was going to be out of it. But once I went to A&M Commerce and saw, how well and how good I did being a coach, I was like, nah, I got to stay in it for longer. So that's another thing. Like I'm always thinking about a plan B or the next step just in case something doesn't work. So that's the reason why I'm like, okay, well, let me get my PhD because I get my PhD. There's no way in the world they're going to tell me I don't qualify for something.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. Anything you want.
Anything.
So is this like, so you're using your PhD to just level up in sports? Is that why you're getting it?
Yes, absolutely. So, I know it's going to come upon a time where, I get older, I have a family because coaching does, involve a lot of time. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can coach. What's my next step? And my next step will probably be, looking into the AD side of things or SWA at a bigger school, a bigger HBCU, because I want to stay in the HBCU world.
That's real. Would you start off in high school or you want to go straight to college?
Well, it depends. I go to Texas for high school because them ADs getting that coin.
Yeah, I heard DMV ADs on the high school level, maybe not a coin, but I heard the pay's pretty good. I can't lie to.
Well, now the pay is good, but you got to realize the cost of living in the DMV area is very high. So, it kind of balances out. Whereas you be in Texas, you could be getting paid like almost $189,000 a year as an AD at a high school. Yeah,
that's about 100 more than that's a coin.
And the houses are nicer, so it just depends.
That's facts. Last thing I want to talk about during the salute session, you have your own brand, Jeanne-Marie Officals. How did this start? Because I feel like this is real dope. You're giving young women a feeling, like you're creating a feeling for them to walk into the professional place and just be them. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's crazy because I feel like that was just kind of Like, you just need to start this or look into that. And that's kind of how it happened, because when I was at, when I started off coaching, whenever I clean up nice. I can clean up really nice.
Stepper, you a big
I'm
stepper.
in the dread stage right now, so I'm looking crazy. But whenever we do dress up for game days and stuff, I always just used to get complimented on, well, where do you get this from, or where you get that from, or that's really cute, or can you style me, can you do that? And I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna make my own brand, my own line, so y'all stop asking me these questions, and here you go. So that's kind of where it went. I was supposed to start it a little bit earlier. I got into it a little more when COVID came, because I had more time to kind of think about it and figure out what I wanted my vision to be. But it definitely started just from the sidelines coaching.
Mm-hmm. That's real. And how do you see yourself growing in that avenue? Like, would you one day want to have your live off your clothing line, like that be your full-time thing, or where do you see that?
Well, I'm never going to knock it. But I feel like I always just done so much that I've always have to do two things at once. So that will be great. But knowing me, I probably would have something else going on.
This is permanent in you. You have to be doing two things now.
I have to. Like if I feel like I'm just sitting and just chilling for a long time, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do something. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like that's just how I am. But definitely I do, I can see it like that. But like I said, I'm gonna have to do something else. I know I'm gonna have to do it. Once school stops, I'm probably gonna dive in a little bit deeper into it, and see how things go. Because right now, like, my priority is my job, school, then that. So once school is out the way in April, it's gonna be my job, then that, and we're gonna get the ball rolling.
Got you. So transitioning, what is the main component of sports that you carry into your brand, as far as like things that you've learned over sports from high school, college, coaching, all of that?
Discipline.
I like that. And I don't know if you're familiar, but I ask these questions because I got a lot of student athletes that watch my stuff, and I want to give them something to, connect the dots with. They don't know what they're going to do when they grow up, and a young lady might see you and be like, ooh, I want to get into fashion. So their sport will help them transition easily. So go ahead and talk about it.
Definitely discipline. Once again, if I didn't have no discipline, I wouldn't be able to kind of do the things that I'm doing right now, or like that discipline thing. I was just, like, the priority thing, like, that's discipline. Like, it's like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I don't care how it's going to be done. But if it takes me to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning for me to get this done, like, this is what I'm going to do. And, as a student athlete, once again, you're not really thinking about those things. You're like, why am I waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to lift some weights? Yeah. Or why are we sitting, like, why do I gotta be on the bus 5 minutes early when we about to leave? Like, I don't get it. But that stuff teaches discipline. And discipline comes with, like, being on time. I tell my student athletes all the time, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is to be left. So it's just those things that kind of ties around discipline.
You can't run from discipline. That's one thing I learned. There is you can't run from that at all. And a part of discipline is accountability. Like, accountability is something that I really preach and teach.
Yeah, accountability.
You're either going to sink or you're going to swim. Mm-hmm. You got to pick one, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So lastly, give us one word that describes you.
Authentic.
I like that. Go ahead, explain a little bit.
I'm very transparent. I'm very original. Like, I'm not gonna shift my mood or who I am for anybody. What you see is what you're gonna get. You ask me my opinion, I'm gonna tell you. If you don't like it, I'm gonna say, well, you shouldn't have asked me my opinion. I'm just real. Like, it's just like, if you meet anybody, they're gonna be like, yeah, like, Jay gonna tell it how it is.
I feel like that's how it should be all the time. Like, I feel like it would be much better if people. But
some people not like that though.
Yeah, that's true.
You got some people that might sugarcoat things. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I might laugh because I'm like, dang, like, this is like, it's stupid. So I'm gonna laugh, but I'm gonna tell you nicely how I feel. Mm-hmm. But
There's nothing wrong with saying it nicely, but don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't lie.
Exactly.
That's real. So for anybody watching this right now, 2 things that we learned: discipline to take you a long way. Be authentic.
Yes.
Just be you. People are going to accept you for you, straight like that. And if they don't, they're not meant to be in your life. So, Coach Jay, I appreciate you giving me your time. I know you got a lot going on, so thank you for coming on. Do you want to leave your socials on here?
Sure. Yes, I gotta remember them. I think so. I think a lot of them, like my Twitter page is Coach J.M. Wilson. My Instagram page is Jmuhree, and it's JMUHREE. And then also, y'all gotta follow the home team, women's basketball, Howard Bison, both Twitter and Instagram. Make sure y'all follow that too, because you could definitely keep up with us and myself during those times.
Absolutely. Y'all tapping her. Ladies, get with her if you need some fashion. You know, if you need some new wardrobe, go ahead, go to JeanneMarieOfficial.com. Follow her if your daughter plays basketball. Send it to Howard. She'll be in good hands. You know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Y'all can go ahead and follow me at T Scotty on Instagram and Twitter. And that's that. Coach Jay, I appreciate your time. Y'all go ahead and follow, subscribe, like to my YouTube channel at T Scotty RTTO, and we are out.